Okay, so welcome everyone to the September 19th public meeting for the Town of Conception Bay South Council. And this evening, we are joined by four councillors who are remotely joining us this evening. And we have three other councillors here in person. So we will carry on with the business as we have a quorum. I'm just going to start as always with the land acknowledgement. The Town of Conception Bay South would like to respectfully acknowledge the territory in which we gather as the ancestral homelands of the Beothuk and the island of Newfoundland as the ancestral homelands of the Mi'kmaq and Beothuk. We also respectfully acknowledge Labrador as the traditional and ancestral homelands of the Innu of Nitassinan, the Inuit of Nunatsiavut, and the Inuit of Nunatuavut. We strive for respectful partnerships with all the peoples of this province as we search for collective healing and true reconciliation and honor this beautiful land together. Next up, adoption of agendas and minutes. Adoption of the meeting agenda for tonight. Moved by Councillor Hillier, seconded by Councillor Moores. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried. Adoption of the meeting minutes from September 5th, 2023. Moved by Councillor Moores, seconded by Councillor Connors. All in favor? Contrary minded?
Aye.
Carried. Business arising from previous minutes will be dealt with as we go through this meeting and meetings in the future. Next is visitors, presentations, and petitions. And Councillor Moores, I understand you have something under petitions.
Yes, Mayor Bent. I have a petition here from over, I guess there's 104 signatures from Chanterelle Drive from Maria Young. I met with Maria the other night at the park. And I guess they are requesting the Chanterelle Drive playground be upgraded with newer and safer equipment and play structures for the surrounding neighborhood residents to avail of and enjoy. So she has taken upon herself to go around and has all these signatures, and I would like to submit that for council to consider.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Morris, and we'll make that part of the record. And of course, we are doing a review on playgrounds, so that'll form part of that. Next up, we have one proclamation, and the proclamation is for Seniors Week. And this evening, we are joined by two members from our own Seniors Advisory Committee. We have Pat Fagan, the chair of the committee, and Carolyn Ellsworth. And if you gentlemen wouldn't mind joining me up here, we'll go through the proclamation and get a picture. I think it was about 6 years ago, we formed the Senior Advisory Committee, and over the years, it has gone through some transformation. Come on up here with me if you can. If that's possible. Yeah. Excellent. That's why we put that there. Hang coats on. Better service. There we go. Thank you very much. Welcome this evening, gentlemen. And as the committee has gone through some transformations over the years, and here we are today. So it's great to have you with us, and it's great to be able to work with. And I know, I believe Christine Butler, Councillor Butler, you're the council rep on this committee, I believe, are you?
I am for sure, Mayor. Yes.
Okay, sorry you couldn't be here tonight, but I'm going to do this. So the proclamation for National Seniors Day, which is October 1st. Whereas on October 1st, communities across Canada will join together to recognize National Seniors Day. And whereas seniors in the town of Conception Bay South are present in all aspects of our lives, they are parents and grandparents, our teachers, our volunteers, our mentors, our neighbors, and our co-workers, and our friends too, in many cases. Hey, so whereas National Seniors Day focuses on celebrating and recognizing the contributions made by seniors to better their communities, families, and workplaces, and whereas every day seniors right here in the town of Conception Bay South make a big difference, and we value what they are doing. Therefore, I, Darren Bent, Mayor of the town of Conception Bay South, do hereby proclaim October 1st, 2023 as National Seniors Day and urge my fellow citizens to recognize the crucial role played by Canadian seniors in our community and our province. And it is September sometime or other, 19th, 2023. Thank you, gentlemen, and appreciate the efforts that you make on our committee. And let's walk down front and we'll get a photograph for Jennifer and. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, next up, we have new business and to make this easy, I'm going to start with all the people in the room and I'm going to start with Councillor Hillier.
Yes, Your Worship, very quickly, as you're aware, a group of us were involved in a charity golf tournament this past weekend, and we won't talk a whole lot about the golf, but just want to mention that it was a lovely morning, sponsored by our local Chamber of Commerce, and along with a meal, and I guess I noticed, and I'm sure you guys noticed, the camaraderie and the synergy and so on that was in the room during that lunch period. And I just want to pass on to, I guess, any members of our business community who are not members of the Chamber of Commerce to certainly take a step to join, because there's certainly benefits from being involved with that group. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Hillier. I won't talk about the golf either, but it was a wonderful event and well organized. Councillor Barrett.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just a couple things from me for now. Want to welcome Newlander Meat Shop to Conception Bay South. I know that they recently celebrated their 1-year anniversary this past Saturday, and that also served as their grand opening. And I know myself and Councillor Moores and yourself, Mayor, had a chance to pop down, and it's really great to see a lot of residents and non-residents there. And one of the things I really appreciated during the celebration is really how Newlander is embodying local, supporting local. You know, they have a lot of local, beyond their meats, they have local goods that they're providing. They're selling Bima honey that's made in CBS, and I know they had promotion last week leading up to their grand opening that if you wore a local swag or clothes from a local business, you actually got 15% off their sausages. And so I thought that was a really cool initiative that they had. So just want to say congratulations to Steve and Andrea Canning on their success of their first year, and thank them for their support for local businesses, and hopefully there's more years to come. I also wanted to bring forward one matter that's been coming up to me personally, and I know other councilors have been hearing this, and this has to do with these. You drive around town over the weekend, periodically you see these flea markets that are popping up. I know we see them in private property in Kelligrews, and they're popping up on 2570 Topsail Road. And just want to note that we consider this an outdoor market. And for outdoor market, in our regulations, you actually require a permit to operate this, and you need approval from the property owner. And to date, we haven't received any applications for a permit for an outdoor market. And so I say all this because these are operating without permits, and we have notified our municipal enforcement. And if you see those flea markets operating, please be mindful of that. And municipal enforcement is looking into it. And I don't say this to try and nitpick on some folks that are trying to sell maybe goods or some things that they're trying to some old clothes or whatever the case is, but some of these situations that are infringing parking for community parks or local businesses, and just want to be cognizant of that some of these operations are impeding access to some of our areas. So I just want to make note of that this evening. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Barrett. Councillor Morris.
Thank you, Mayor Bent. A couple things. Councillor Barrett indicated, not Mayor. I was also at the grand opening of our 1-year anniversary for Newlander, and it was great to see so many people there. And I will put a shout out for their maple blueberry sausages. They are delicious. So if you ever get an opportunity to stop by and get some, I highly recommend it. I also participated in the golf tournament, which was great to see so many people out participating, and just want to put it out there that I think Councillor Hillier learned that if you do make fun of people, karma will hit and then your golf game will be off. So leading into that, I would just like to point out that we are now offering pickleball in CBS and at Admiral's Academy starting on Tuesday, September 26th. So you need to pre-register. So maybe Councillor Hillier, that's something you might want to participate in. I also would like to mention that the community park is closing starting Monday, September 25th for 3 weeks. And this is for the trail paving in the park to help make it more accessible. So just note to residents that that will be happening starting on Monday. Also, the Agriculture Expo will be taking place September 29th, October 1st at the CBS Arena. So if you are around and you have the opportunity, I highly recommend you drop up. And we also have a 50th anniversary event coming up for the Love of Harps, Sharing Our Journey. So this is a free concert with the CBS Harps featuring Sarah Verber, and it will be happening on Saturday, September 23rd at St. Peter's Anglican Church from 2 to 3 p.m. So this is another great event that you can try and participate or go and take in and see what it's all about. And I encourage everybody to take in as many 50th anniversary events as possible. We have had many and many more to come. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Morris. And I believe Councillor Butler, you wanted to say something from afar?
Oh, yes, thank you, Your Worship. I just wanted to mention, I'm excited about Seniors Week coming up next week. Looking forward to seeing seniors at some of the events, especially the expo, and also an opportunity maybe for them to contribute into our budget consultations. I know it'll be on social media, and I know I spoke to our communication, and it's going to be in the Shoreline this week also. So take a look at the Shoreline, see what you would like to attend. I know there might be sign up for some stuff, registration, so that information will be there. So I'm excited for it, and I can't wait to get back and see everybody. Thanks, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Butler. Anybody else from afar would like to say something?
Yes, Your Worship. It's Melissa. Can you guys hear me okay?
Perfectly well.
Perfect. Awesome. So I guess before I go ahead of my notes, I'm a little bit disappointed about the pickleball. Tuesday nights, we tend to have council committee meetings and council. So I was a little bit disappointed about the schedule. So hopefully it'll offer another session when I see all the excitement, so we can certainly join in. So a couple of things. School has been open for about a week and a bit now. So just really want to remind residents the importance of driving only 30 kilometers in school zones. I'm part of one of the school zones, and I've certainly witnessed a lot of motor vehiclists driving way past 30, to the point that, you know, when I'm driving 30, they're at my tailgate and I can't see them. So really need to put that out there, folks, that school zones, 30 kilometers, it's a reason it's put in place, and it's a reason it's legislated. So last Wednesday, September 13th, I had the pleasure to attend and serve seniors at their weekly lunch at the All Saints Parish Hall. So this is every Wednesday for any senior who would like to get out and have a nice meal and listen to some good music and have a little bit of a chat with some other folks in the community. At this particular one, we were able to donate food to the food bank, and I think Enid had over two and a half carts, and I know folks were also giving cash donations, so I know it was a really good event, and certainly want to put a thank you out to Enid and all of her staff for letting me help out participate. I think I'm the coffee and tea person now. So they just say, Melissa, someone else wants tea, and I just start running. So fabulous event, and I'll certainly be there again in some future Wednesday sittings. Last one, this Saturday, September 23rd, from 11 o'clock to 1 p.m. Anyone who's interested in donating any hockey equipment, or if anyone is in need of any hockey equipment, you can drop by the Robert French Arena. Our CBS Lions Club and War Clooney, they have a huge selection of hockey gear and also some figure skating equipment. So big thank you to the Lions Club and Wark. I know they do this every year. Well, something that's extra special this year is actually Sammy's Climb Higher Foundation. They actually helped get all the equipment and all of the stuff that they had in storage organized. So it's well done, beautifully laid out. So big shout out to War Clooney and the Lions Club and Sammy's Climb Higher Foundation. So if anyone's in need, September 23rd, 11 to 1 at Robert French Stadium. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Hardy. And I believe that's all from tonight. Yeah, so moving right along, I'm going to just throw a shout out to Newlander Meat Shop as well. And they were also represented at this so-called golf tournament that everybody's mentioned with the chamber. And I thought it was fantastic, as Councillor Barrett mentioned, that they used the opportunity to promote small business in our community. And I think we have on our rolls just over 500 small businesses throughout Conception Bay South, which is amazing. You know, it's been the backbone since certainly since the incorporation, but long before that, Conception Bay South has depended on small businesses and community shops and so forth. And of course, we've grown in that so much over the years, and it's great that they have joined the fold there, and wish them all the best. I also want to mention a couple other things. It was a pleasure to be out to help with an anniversary that predates the town by about 20 years. The 70th wedding anniversary of Clarence and Geraldine Butler. A couple weeks ago, Councillor Butler was there, of course, but it was a great event, and it was great to be able to go out and help them celebrate along with their family. Of course, Butler's Sawmill is an iconic note along the roadway, and I'm sure that there's lots of people on the end of my voice have bought wood from up there as well, and over the years. It was also a pleasure to get out and for the Ovarian Cancer Canada Walk for Hope that was held at Manuel's River. I'm not sure, it's 2 weeks ago now, I guess it was. It's a St. John's walk, but we made it the CBS walk this year, and it was they have some great volunteers and a great organization. And you know, one of the things that made it very poignant is the cancer survivors wore one color shirt, and people who were currently going through the journey of cancer were wearing another. So you knew who they were, and you know, you were able to speak to them and hear their story. And it was just a fantastic event, and pleasure to be able to hold it here in Conception Bay South. And we had great weather for it, so it's great to see them. It's been mentioned the 50th anniversary CBS event at All Saints Parish Hall. Enid and the crew down there do an awesome job every Wednesday. And if you're a senior out in our community and you're looking for a fantastic lunch on a Wednesday, drop into All Saints. Great fellowship and great food. I think there's a few soups and stews on the menu this week. Moose stew, I believe. Deputy Mayor, you were there. Councillor Butler, you were there, and Councillor Hardy was serving up for everybody. Fantastic. And I think there was moose and turkey soup and sandwiches and all of that. And they do this type of thing every Wednesday, different menu. So if you're, you know, if you're a senior in our community and looking for to find some new friends and a great place to eat, it's just a donation. We'll get you lunch, which is incredible. St. John the Evangelist, I believe the women's organization down there also had a 50th anniversary tea. We missed you, Councillor Hillier. We thought you'd be there, but you couldn't make it, I guess, out of town on the weekend. But as always, they had a wonderful event down there to celebrate the town's history. And by doing so, they invited the town's second mayor, Kelvin Fowler, down, who spoke. And I brought greetings as well. And just a great community organization down there. I want to bring forward a couple of things now. One is about crosswalks for the trailway in our community. And there's a couple in particular, but there's one on Fowler's Road that seems to be suffering as noted earlier, I believe by Councillor Hardy. The speeding through the town just seems to be on all the streets, not just around schools, but everywhere. But particularly in this area, I've talked to people in the last week or so that, stick their head out to make sure nothing's coming, stop. And then just as they start out, somebody comes zooming around the corner up Fowler's Road. And it's a unfortunate situation, of course. And I'm asking people, try to be mindful of where you are, that you're in residential communities, residential community primarily everywhere you go in our town. There's people live there, there's children, there's people on bicycles and so forth. And it's, use the, be mindful and look out for people, drive defensively. You don't want to be on the wrong end of something like that. Somebody crossing the road that was using the trailway and you've come around the corner a little too fast. I've asked staff to look into this particular area to see if there's something that we can do for calming or for certainly to make it a little more visible. And they're going to do that and see what we can come up with there. But it's not just there, it's in other areas as well. And something else I wanted to touch upon, and I had a conversation with our fire chief, Heffernan, about this. And recently they've seen some very, another traffic issue, but it's a very concerning activity, especially when emergency vehicles, one of theirs responding to a scene, a vehicle driving in front of them would not pull over, would not. And they're trying to get to the scene. It's slowing them down. They can't cross the road to get past them. And the person is just going along like there's nothing going on. They have lights, they've got sirens going, and they're just driving along. Boys, I'm not sure what was going on there, but the license plate of that, I think, has been sent to the police for investigation. And hopefully they can have the proper chat with that individual. But please be mindful. I got to be honest with you. When I go to driving around, and this sort of thing happens, I find that most people are really respectful of the emergency vehicles, but it does happen, I guess. But the other thing too is, and the chief wanted me to mention, and I happily do so, because it's not just when they're moving, it's when the emergency officials are stopped dealing with either a car accident, or they're at a fire scene, or if there's something has happened in the roadway. The safety of our emergency people is paramount, and they do everything they can to make themselves as visible as possible. But drivers coming upon these scenes have to slow down. They have to be mindful of what's going on. Understand the situation, could be developing, and something may happen that they can't react quick enough to. So just something that people should know. So upon approaching a stopped emergency or designated vehicle that has its emergency equipment activated, drivers traveling in the same direction must reduce their speed to at least 30 kilometers an hour or less than the posted speed limit, and where necessary, come to a stop. So be mindful when you're approaching these areas, you may have to slow down to a stop. A driver is to pass by the emergency vehicle only when it is safe to do so. Change lanes if there is another lane available for traveling in the same direction, or place as much distance as possible in that same lane, and if only when it's safe to do so. So you may have to wait. Well, wait. Don't try to go out around them and get going where you gotta go to. You might end up being one of the responses that they have to do. Emergency vehicles include police vehicles, ambulances, fire trucks. Designated vehicles include tow trucks, search and rescue vehicles, and public utility vehicles. The first offense for violating this law comes with a fine of $390, which is far too low, and 4 demerit points. So please be mindful when you see these flashing lights to slow down and be attentive too. Don't be rubbernecking and looking in the wrong direction. Look in front of you. You don't want to be rear-ending somebody at an accident scene or some other emergency scene. So be careful. And I'm probably getting long in the tooth of asking people to be careful. That's 2 meetings in a row. So anyway, there it is. So I'm going to move on, as always, to the people's business now. Recommendations of Planning and Development Committee. The chair is Councillor Rex Hillier.
Thank you, Your Worship. These are recommendations brought forward from our September 13th committee meeting. Number 6A, Laurel Road. Be it so resolved that application number 3233 received on August 22nd, 2023 for a swimming pool to be located within the side yard at 17 Laurel Road be approved. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Moores, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
6C or 6B, 12 Butler's Road North. Be it so resolved that in accordance with section 5.32 of the town's development regulations, application number 3241 received August 28, 2023 for a cumulative accessory building lot coverage of 54.8 square meters at 12 Butler's Road North be approved. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Barrett, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
6C, 34 Hopewell Gardens. Be it so resolved that the order issued on September 6, 2023, under the authority of the Municipalities Act 1999, requiring the property owner to remove or repair the main building and relocate or remove an accessory building on the property located at 34 Hopewell Gardens, Conception Bay South, be confirmed. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Moores, discussion?
Yes, Your Worship, this is a large building on Hopewell Gardens that's been unoccupied for some time. I believe at one point in time it was probably a personal care home. Certainly fallen into disrepair. It's a concern of the neighborhood for safety and so on. We've reached out to the owner on several occasions, and we find ourselves in a position now to issue an order that the owner will submit to us a plan for either demolishing the building or repairing it. So that that order was actually served on September 13th. So 2 weeks from September 13th, we're looking to have a plan to see where this building goes. I know it's become a real concern for the neighborhood, and it's something that we need to address.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that we have to go to an order, but here we are, and this is what we'll do. And of course, there's a procedure time for this, so it isn't going to happen overnight, unfortunately, but it is in the process now to get to an end game on this. And I know that that shed that's I think is within a foot or so of the property boundary. And of course, I think the rules are 5 feet, somewhere in that vicinity, 1 point some odd meters. But anyway, hopefully this will get it to the next level and we can get this taken care of for the residents up there.
And I think, Your Worship, you just said it. It's a slow process. There are actual stages that we have to follow within this process, and there are things that we have done leading up to this point that have taken time, and this is just the next step.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
6D, 36 Scotts Road North. Be it so resolved that application number 3267 received on September 6, 2023 for a fence along the western boundary at 36 Roberts Road North be approved to a maximum height of 1.8 meters. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Moores, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded?
Excuse me, Mayor. It says Scotts Road over there, but in the thing it says Roberts Road. So
I'm sorry, Christine, we're having trouble hearing you. Councillor Butler, sorry.
it says Scotts Road, but then the actual reading of the motion says Roberts Road. Did they hear me?
Yes, we're checking into that now.
Oh, okay, thank you very much, Councillor.
Yeah. Thank you, Councillor Butler. We'll make sure the fence gets built in the right street.
Yes, that would be good.
Yes, your worship. So that should be Scotts Road in the motion.
Yeah, so the agenda is right. The motion is
Yeah.
mistaken. Okay, so we'll go with Scotts Road as the agenda notes. Okay,
And finally, your worship, the committee report. Be it so resolved that decisions and recommendations made at the Planning and Development Committee meeting on September 11th, 2023 be accepted as presented. And the topics that were discussed are listed below. As you can see, there are several topics there that do not require recommendations to come forward this evening. So move.
seconder, Councillor Barrett. Any discussion on those topics? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Thank you, worship.
Thank you, Councillor Hillier. Recommendations of Engineering and Public Works Committee Chair, Councillor Melissa Hardy.
Thank you, your worship. 7A, approval to purchase waste carts. Be it so resolved that approval is given to purchase waste carts from Saunders Equipment Limited at a cost of $81,284.30, including HST. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Hillier. Discussion?
As just part of our regular inventory process.
Okay. More houses, more carts. Is that it, Councillor Hardy?
Yes, sir. That's good.
All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried.
7B, ratification, PO 2023-0784. Be it so resolved that ratification approval is given to PO 2023-0784 at the cost of $26,212.57 plus HST to Harvey and Company Lid for repairs to Unit 290. Funds to be taken from the account as noted. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Moores. Discussion?
Just regular maintenance on one of our dump trucks.
So I assume that Unit 290 is a truck.
Yes, it's a dump truck.
Okay, fair enough. All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried.
7C, approval to purchase light-duty pickup truck. Be it so resolved that approval is given to purchase a 3/4 ton double cab 4-wheel drive pickup truck from Terra Nova Motors at a cost of $67,645 plus HST. Funds are available in the account as noted. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Hillier. Discussion?
Again, just part of our regular inventory on as trucks are no longer at their end of life or whatever, we have to go and get them replaced. So
Yeah, we use these things beyond their life, I think, sometimes, but
we certainly do.
based on the cost of them, I see why. All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried.
7D, Engineering Public Works Committee meeting. Be it so resolved that the recommendations and decisions of the Engineering and Public Works Committee held on September 13th, 2023 be accepted as presented. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Barrett. Discussion?
One of the topics during that committee meeting was on Frog Pond. So I'd just like to give our residents a quick update. The town has engaged Stantec in late June to undertake a desktop hydrology assessment of Frog Pond. Hydrology studies groundwater, how it flows, how it interacts with surrounding materials such as soils and rocks. And a letter report will summarize the findings, which will include hydraulic characteristics of the Frog Pond and area. So it'll likely be several more weeks before this report is completed, reviewed, and adopted by council. Also, just like to point out that we have been in contact with the private property owner, the town staff has, and any further communications, any findings will certainly get communicated with the private property owners as well. So just like to give residents a quick update on that one. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Barrett. Discussion? Nothing ever happens as quickly as we want it to, does it, Councillor Hardy? So 6 to 8 weeks is now turned into 12 to 14 weeks, but we'll let the engineers do their work and see what they come of it. All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried. Thank you.
Cool.
Next, recommendations from the Recreation and Leisure Services Committee Chair is Councillor Shelley Moores.
Thank you, Mayor Bent. 8A, the beverage contract. Be it so resolved that approval be given to proceed with the new contract with FW Wadden and Sons for the provision for exclusive beverage contract for the town of Conception Bay South, effective date of signature for a 3-year period. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Barrett, discussion. All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried. Fill up those machines.
Just a standard renewal contract. The Recreation and Leisure Services Committee report, be it so resolved that the recommendations and decisions of the Recreation and Leisure Services Committee meeting of September 12th, 2023 be accepted as presented. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Hillier, discussion.
Just to give residents, there are a lot of, I guess, different events coming up, especially in the fall with recreation and of course our 50th anniversary. So keep an eye on our social media for all the dates of all the events that are coming up. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Councillor Moores. All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Recommendations of financial and administrative services, and who's that tonight, Deputy Mayor? That is Councillor Barrett. Thank you, Councillor Barrett.
Thank you, your worship. 9A, accounts payable checks. Be it so resolved that approval be given to pay accounts payable checks totaling $132,769.19 per the attached report. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Hillier, discussion. All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried.
9B, manual checks. B, it's so resolved that approval be given to ratify the payment of manual checks totaling $52,546.38. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Moores, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
9C, capital invoice approval. Be it so resolved that approval be given to pay capital invoices totaling 47,798 cents as per the attached report. So moved.
Seconder. There's a delay in the video and I apologize, Councillor Hardy. You can second this one. All discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
I'm the only individual from the finance committee here this evening, and I had to sign all the checks, and so my arm is tired right now.
Gotta
Nine.
pay the bills, Councillor.
I paid the bill. I paid a few bills
Want to
tonight.
play, you gotta pay.
That's right. Somebody's got to do it. 9D, tax and other receivables adjustments. Be it so resolved that approval be given to adjust tax and other receivables accounts as follows. There's 2 listed there. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Connors. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
9E. Be it so resolved that the order issued on September 6, 2023, under the Urban Rural Planning Act 2000, the Municipalities Act, that's supposed to be 1999, and the Town of Conception Bay South Development Regulations 2011 to 2021, and the Town of Conception Bay South Waste Disposal and Property Regulations ordering property owner to remove debris, including metal, wrecked cars, car parts, trailers, wood, and other miscellaneous debris situated on the property located at 37 Conways Brook Road, Conception Bay South, be confirmed. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Butler. Discussion.
Yes, your worship, we had a brief mention of an order in the planning motions, and this is again part of the process. We're aware that this property is here. There's a number of things that we need to get cleaned up, and it's just one of the steps in that process that we have to do.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Have I gone?
No, you're good.
Okay.
You're good.
You're giving me a look like I'd gone too far too quickly. Yeah. All in favor, contrary minded, carried.
And then 9F. Financial and Administrative Services Committee report, be it so resolved that the recommendations, decisions of the Financial and Administrative Services Committee meeting of September 11th, 2023 be accepted as presented. And there are a number of things there that we were chatting about as well that you can check out in the minutes. So moved.
Seconder. Deputy Mayor Goss. All in favor?
If-
Contrary minded? Carried.
If I could just take one moment
sure.
to mention something, we mentioned, we had a brief touch point on this a couple of weeks ago and at council, but we've already started work on our budget 2024. And as part of that process, remain very interested in hearing from residents. And to do that, we have our online survey again posted. That's active until October 4th. And honestly, I have to say, looking at, I mean, every municipality does similar things. They do different things when it comes to budget engagement, but I think we really have a great online tool when it comes to identifying priorities for your budget that counts your current property tax. And if you want more services, how that impacts your property tax and these things. And so certainly you might have seen that floating around on social media or posted in the Shoreline. And so I would encourage folks that if you are interested in having a say, please consider filling out that survey. Also in recent years, post-COVID and pre-COVID, but certainly last year and I believe the year before, we have had a scheduled time where residents can come and meet us at one of our local halls and chat about their priorities. And this year we're going to try to come to you. We have a number of events in the hopper later this month and throughout October, such as the Seniors Expo. We have a number of events during Sabre CVS, and we're going to augment some of these existing events to chat about our budget. And so you'll find us at the Seniors Expo. If you want to chat about the budget, please do, and some other events that we'll have going on for the next few weeks. And so please feel free to come up and chat about the budget through those avenues as well.
Thank you, Councilor Barrett. Yes, so that's a little change in pace and try to get as more people involved as possible. So thank you for reminding us of that. We didn't have an economic development meeting this past week, so I believe we're going to move on to other committees. Does anyone have anything to report from any of the other council committees? Councilor Barrett.
Yes, I do. I have one committee report and one extra item. On September 13th, I attended a Parks Commission meeting. It was also their annual general meeting. And so it was great to hear and get a recap about some of the initiatives that our green spaces have been leading over the past year. And one item that came up from some of the committee members is some of the ongoing vandalism that is happening in their parks. And I know this has been an ongoing issue. And what I'd like to do is bring this up at one of our administrative services committee to see what other municipalities might be doing in terms of that type of activity in parks, and see if there might be something that we can learn from for our town. And so that was one of the topics of discussion there. And also I wanted to mention, while not a committee, I also had the opportunity to attend the annual general meeting of the Long Pond Harbor Authority and meet with several of the board members. Some folks I had met previously, some folks this is my first time. And I just want to reiterate, this is a true asset in our town, and we have so many qualified individuals that serve in the capacity of the board, serve in staff, and these folks are busy and they are providing a service. And I just want to thank them for their contributions to date and all of their independent thought that they bring to the table when it comes to operating and maintaining the Port Authority. So that was a real pleasure to be a part of that. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Barrett. Does anybody else having to report from any of the committees? Other committees? Okay, well, with nothing there. So we are back here again on October 3rd. Actually, it'll be my turn not to be here. So most all of you will be back here on October 3rd for the next meeting. So on this time, I'll call for a motion for adjournment. Moved by Councillor Hillier, seconded by Councillor Hardy. All in favor?
Hi,
Contrary minded? Carried. Thank you.
thank you.